Okay. The progression of healing. So, do you know what this is? A toothbrush, right? When you were born, did you know how to use this? I bet you didn't. I bet you somebody had to show you as you grew your teeth how to take care of your teeth. And then you learned that you didn't depend just upon the toothbrush. You learned how to um, floss your teeth, scrape your tongue, do all the things that we do in wellness, oil pulling. And then you learn that it was time to go to a dentist eventually, right? By the time we're 4 or 5, we end up going to the dentist once a year or twice a year to get a deep cleaning and get proper assessments. Well, just like the dentist industry only probably started maybe 400 years ago or so, I didn't do the exact research on that. Well, lymphatics are, it's like this new thing that I don't understand why it's new, but regardless, it's the new frontier. Even though I have pictures of books in the 1800s, late 1800s, where they're actually teaching people how to pump their lymph nodes, this is something that we don't come out of our womb knowing how to pump our lymph. I don't think it was ever expected that this body was going to live in this kind of environment. So to progress our healing, we have to learn how to treat and heal our lymphatics. The animals in the woods don't have toothbrushes because they live natural food. They eat organic. They live on the planet, so they get plenty of grounding. They get plenty of sunshine, and they have plenty of exposure to the elements. So they don't need to care for their bodies the way humans do because we live we eat processed foods. We eat under non-natural lighting. We have non-natural air. We live in homes. And while that's great shelter, it's not in alignment with our naturalness, right? And so with all the man-made chemicals and all the toxicants, we have to learn how to care for our lymph. As I say, we're really up against it. And for us we have to learn how to move our lymph faster than it's coming at us. And I'm telling you that where dentistry's at today is where lymph is going to be at in the next 5 to 10 years, where everybody's going to learn how to pump their lymph, and they're going to start to teach this to their kids, because as we clean up our environment, as we become more conscious beings, as we recognize that we are all part of one environment, we still are living in what we've created since the industrial age of complete abundance of toxins and burden on this human body. So the progression of healing is you didn't know anything about your lymph, and now you know about your lymph. So now it's time to care for your lymph minimally twice a day in your home. Caring for your lymph by manually pumping your lymph twice a day. And just like you learned how to use your toothbrush, we're going to teach you how to pump your lymph. And it's going to take you a little bit of skill set to learn that. First time you get your toothbrush, you didn't do it perfectly. And every time you go to the dentist, they tweak your skill set as the science evolves to know how to better take care of our teeth. Same with lymph. You're going to go to a practitioner, you're going to start to learn about how to care for your lymph. And what we as practitioners do for your lymph is much more than you're going to be able to do at home. So your progression of healing is, I am going to learn how to care for my lymph minimally twice a day. I'm going to learn how to do a full body sequence at least once a week for 20 or 30 minutes, maybe even an hour as I grow my skill set. Then I'm going to go to a practitioner and I'm going to learn by laying on their table and letting them take me even farther into the lymph world and understand, that lymph is not just physical, it's emotional and mental and energetic. And I'm going to continue that evolution and that revolution of my progression of my healing by leaning into my lymphatics. And I'm going to depend upon my caretakers at clinic to tell me, do I need to come back every 6 months to get my teeth cleaned? Or am I good to go for a year because I'm doing so much self-care at home? 5 to 10 years from now, lymph, everyone is going to do. They're going to do it. They're going to teach their kids as soon as they can to learn how to pump their lymph. They're going to learn that lymph is your first level of, I will say, defense against any symptom, anything you're up against, that you can actually engage your own healing capacity and progress your body by facilitating yourself. And you don't actually need a toothbrush. You just need to learn how to do your pumping. And we have other tools and upgrades that you can learn as you start to work with us. But the first step in the progressive of healing is learning lymph in the beginning, lymph in the middle, and lymph at the end. Lymph, 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 lymph. We're going to brush our teeth twice a day. We're going to pump our lymph twice a day. We're going to see a therapist to clean our teeth. We're going to see a therapist to rehab and clean out our lymph. we're going to assess with that dentist our teeth. We're going to assess our lymph with that practitioner. And we are going to stay on the cutting edge of healing by focusing on our lymphatics. That's the progression of healing.